Welcome to Cravings Control for Fat Loss. I'm your host, Laura Cavallo, former sugar binger, overeater, and yo-yo dieter turned fat loss and cravings coach for hundreds of busy women. Here at Cravings Control for Fat Loss, I'll be sharing mindset, movement, and metabolism strategies for those who are ready to ditch the fat diet cycle and slim down without counting calories, tracking points, or giving up any of the foods they love. Get ready to embrace progress over perfection, grace over guilt, and bring curiosity and learning to the inevitable ups and downs of your life. Expect a decrease in your cravings while seeing and feeling an improvement in how you look, how you feel, and your overall quality of life. I am so excited you're here, boo. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Cravings Control for Fat Loss. My name is Laura Cavallo, your cravings coach. And today I'm back with the part 2 of Things I Wish I Knew Sooner, Fat Loss Edition. I hope that you found the previous episode helpful and insightful and maybe just got you thinking a little bit about how you're doing things or sort of your thought process on things and just got the wheels turning a little bit, or maybe you had a couple aha moments, or maybe there's something that you even might disagree with me on, which I would love to hear your take or your perspective or kind of where you're coming from. So please do not hesitate to reach out to me. My DMs are always open for questions, conversations. So super excited to bring you this part 2. Before we get into today's episode, I want to take a moment of your time, because if you're someone who is currently looking to lose inches and slim down and shed some fat, or you just want to get your hands on my proven fat loss strategies that have helped my clients lose up to 10 pounds and 10 inches in 3 months without counting, without tracking, and without measuring, then you need to mark your calendars for Monday, June 12th, because I have a very special new program coming that I am very excited about, and you are not going to want to miss it. Follow me on Instagram or get on my free email list to be notified of the new program details. You can find both of those links below. So another thing that I wish I knew sooner when it came to fat loss was that your metabolism may not always be ready for fat loss. And what I mean by that is if you have been someone that has chronically dieted or even been chronically overeating for a long time, your metabolism, your hormones may not be in sort of the healthiest, best place for you to start jumping right into a fat loss phase. So I sometimes encounter this with clients who maybe have been under eating for certain periods of time where their calories are really low. And so their metabolism down regulates and kind of adapts to this lower calorie intake. And so what happens in this scenario is, in order for a client to lose weight at this lower calorie, they need to continuously eat less and less. Well, that's for anyone, right? You need to continuously eat less in order to lose. And so say someone's eating 1,300 calories and they're at maintenance, now they have to eat 1,200 calories to lose. And then if they stay there, then they have to eat even 1,100 calories when their metabolism adapts. And the same thing goes for someone that's been grossly overeating, but more in regards to how your hormones are responding, things like leptin and insulin, they just may not be functioning optimally. So you may not necessarily be ready for a fat loss phase if you're kind of in maybe one of these two extremes. Or there might be other scenarios. Maybe you have been chronically over-exercising and maybe your adrenals and your body is just kind of fatigued and overdone. You may not be ready for a fat loss phase. So we want our metabolism to be flexible, to be able to switch between modes of maintenance for a couple weeks or a couple months or a couple years, and then pop into fat loss phase for a couple weeks or a couple months or a couple years. Well, no, not years on fat loss, right? Couple months. And then you might even want to gain some muscle where maybe you're eating a little bit more and pop into that for a few months. So we want our metabolism to be able to respond pretty efficiently and flexibly to whatever stage we're in when it comes to our goals. And so some of those things that I mentioned may prevent you from being ready for that. So that's not something I really knew. I just kind of expected my body to respond, even when I was at my sort of quote unquote unhealthiest with some of my habits. The second thing in this segment that I wish I knew sooner was that I can still And you can still have wine, cookies, fries, cake, all of the foods that you crave and love, and you can still lose weight. You can still shed fat. You can still shed inches. It's not actually about eliminating these foods. It's more about how often and how much you indulge in these foods, right? If I had a piece of cake every single night and I'm trying to get into a fat loss phase, if I had slices of cake 2 nights instead of 7, that's pretty good, right? I'm decreasing how often I'm having that cake. I'm still indulging in it, but I'm taking it out and I'm monitoring and adjusting how often I'm having it. And maybe instead of a full slice of cake, maybe I have half a slice of cake. That is still going to set me up for long-term success. Obviously, there are other things that impact this, but just to give you an example that when you adjust how much and how often you indulge, you can still keep some of these crave foods in your diet when it comes to being in a fat loss phase and being successful in a fat loss phase. And we've proven this time and time again with our clients. We do not ask our clients to take any foods out of their diet unless they are allergic, those foods don't make them feel good, or the foods are bad, right? Like, we don't ask our clients to take anything out unless it doesn't sit well with them. The third thing I wish I knew sooner in my fat loss journey is that there are no shortcuts. You have to put the work in consistently and work towards the results, and they're not going to show up in 30 days. They may not even show up in 60 days or 90 days. And any strict program doesn't really teach you the habits that you need in order to maintain the progress for those 30, 60, and 90 days, maybe 30 days. Those more strict programs are really tests in terms of like your dedication and how restrictive you can be. And there's definitely something to be said for people that can do programs like 75 hard or eliminate certain foods, like maybe do Whole30 or something like that for 30 days. There's definitely a mindset challenge to that. But in terms of seeing sustainable fat loss that actually maintains and sticks around, there are no shortcuts. Okay. Like, I have women ask me all the time, like, what do you think of fasting? What about fasted cardio? What about no carbs after 6 p.m.? What about like no sugar? These are tricks that women think will get them to their goal sooner. And while you might get those results a little bit sooner, if that's not something that you can maintain or want to maintain, then I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you're enjoying the podcast, it would mean so much to me if you took less than 2 minutes to give us 5 stars and submit a quick review. Your feedback helps other women who are looking for help with their cravings and fat loss goals find us more easily and benefit from the free content we share. Thank you so much. It truly means a lot. And then the fourth thing that I wish I knew sooner in my fat loss journey was that even when I achieved the look that I wanted, even when I got leaner and I reached the look and the measurements and the weight that I wanted, I actually wasn't that much happier. Maybe I was a little bit more confident because I thought that that's what would make me more confident, and I felt more confident in my clothes, but I actually didn't love myself anymore. I didn't actually feel any happier, right? Because all of the other shit in my life was the same. My relationships, my relationship with food was even worse. My relationship with exercise was even worse, right? And so that confidence and self-acceptance doesn't come as soon as you hit the number on the scale. Maybe a little bit, right? Maybe you gain a little bit more confidence when you see the look that you achieved and you see the muscle and you feel fit. But that long-term fulfillment, the long-term fulfillment that you can keep up for years, that doesn't come from a number. It doesn't come from a look. It comes from doing the internal work. It comes from dedicating yourself to also creating a healthy mindset and creating a healthy internal environment through your thoughts and then your actions, and creating more purpose in your life outside of trying to be thin or trying to be lean or trying to change the number on the scale. I remember when I worked at Equinox in 2018, I was really stressed and I lost 15 pounds in about a year because I wasn't eating. And not by choice, I just wasn't eating because I was working so much. And I got down on 138 and I bought all new clothes and I was like, wow, this is great. But I was literally not any more happy in my life. I was working 14, 15-hour days. I was in an unhealthy relationship. I was eating like shit. I was partying on the weekends. And I just felt really a lack of purpose. And so even though everything on the outside looked quote unquote perfect and good, like, oh, she looks so good in her clothes, or she quote unquote looks healthy, which thinness does not equal healthy, I was like crumbling on the inside. And that was a big aha moment for me of like, this is everything I've been striving for the last 5 years. And I got it. And it's not nearly as fulfilling and rewarding as I thought that it would be. And it kind of happened by chance because of the stress I was under. That's why I say that this confident self-acceptance is an inside job, and it's not going to come 100% from reaching the number, reaching the goal on the scale, reaching that look. You have to learn to love yourself fully, the way you look now, the way your clothes fit now, the way your body is now, not when you achieve XYZ look or achieve XYZ number. So that was a big aha moment for me, and I hope that maybe that can put some things in perspective for you. So I'm curious to know what you thought of this part 2, and if you've had any aha moments in your fat loss journey. Go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at LauraCavallo_cravings_coach, and let me know what you thought of today's episode and what your aha moments have been in your fat loss journey. See you soon.